What's up, people? Many of you, just judging by the title of this video alone, will probably realize what it's about, so I might as well just cut to the chase here. So it took a little while to kind of work out the bugs, but I used various materials over the last several years. Wood was disastrous. Don't ever use wood. I mean, I guess if you're a woodworker, you could use 2x4s, and you could probably use wood, but it's, a little tricky. Metal. I mean, I wouldn't use any of these materials now. I'll get to what I'm using now, and it's much simpler, makes much more sense. Because like wood and metal either broke, or the metal destroyed my resistance bands actually. But yeah, I saw this thing about the X3, which makes some mighty bold claims. But yeah, it really struck me, like, why am I using these really elaborate pulley systems with metal and wood and all of these chains and things to create a resistance band workout system when all I needed the whole time was literally a plastic plank and some rubber feet. I don't have to show you the actual assembly because this is, it's like 2 and 2. I'm just going to show you what it is, the materials that I used, and then you can pretty much put it together yourself out there, if you want to copy this design. Now, the Jaquish system, the X3 as it's known, because it's supposed to build muscle 3 times faster than traditional weights, and something to do with variable resistance. And yes, there is some truth to the claim, but like I said, I'm not going to get into it. That system is hugely overpriced at retailing at $500, $600, something like that. What I am about to show you is significantly cheaper. So basically, you have here. This is a Draper Strength Green Power Band. I have many others, much larger ones, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to use this lighter band gauge for the example. This is all pre-recorded. I'm just overdubbing now. This one is about 100 pounds worth of tension at the very top of the movement. That is each side, so like doubled over this way, you're getting somewhere around 250-ish. It doesn't look that way, but actually you would be surprised. So this band is actually one of the more sort of intermediate, middle of the road, I guess you would say. And but you could deadlift with this, as I'm demonstrating. This bar I bought on Amazon was like $35 at the time of purchase, but beware, obviously the price of fitness related items has been going up and up and up since the start of the pandemic, unfortunately, and it really has not abated much. A lot of companies out there are flagrantly price gouging still. This one came with padding all over it, and just like my pull-up bars, I always cut all that stuff off. I don't care about calluses, and that cheap foam annoys me. Honestly, I don't like it at all. It's junk, it stinks. I don't necessarily think they should be touching your skin. It's probably carcinogenic. But anyway, you could use a steel pipe from a hardware store if you wanted to. I thought about doing that, but the price for like some of the DIY thing, I mean, if you got like some type of pipe laying around, then it's probably going to be cheaper. If you have to throw it together, like the assembly is what makes it annoying, but you could probably shave a couple bucks off. If you're not going to use a lot of tension. Maybe just use some light bands if you're female or elderly, or you don't really have to worry about this. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, this band here is from Draper Strength. They're anywhere between $10 and $50 depending on the band you use, and the tension varies wildly from like 10 pounds all the way up to I think the Draper Strength ones max out somewhere around 300 pounds or something like that, which is a lot of tension, and believe me, you will feel it. And you can also use a luggage scale to confirm that, yes, you're getting a lot of tension. This plastic is extremely strong and very durable. It's a high-density polypropylene plastic. It's rugged as hell, so you're not going to have a problem with breakage or warping, believe me. I mean, I know that the primary use for this is an industrial cutting board, but believe me, I've used upwards of 500 pounds of tension, and it hasn't warped or bent at all. It doesn't budge. It's wonderful. It's very high quality, durable plastic, and it's only about $20 roughly, or at least that's what it was at the time when I bought it. It may actually, I believe I might have got it for as low as 18 or something like that, but now, if you go on Amazon, It's like 25 bucks, but you know, in 2 weeks from now, it might go down to 15 bucks, you know, depending on the color also, for whatever reason. I don't understand that. Which, you know, it's still reasonable considering how much the X3 fitness system costs, or other similar knockoff products like Candy Bar and some of these other ones, which are much cheaper, but still not as cheap as what I'm showing you. And so you're still going to save yourself like hundreds and hundreds of dollars with minimal DIY effort, so it's really worth it. Just lay the band down, put the board on top of it, loop it around the bar, and then you just proceed into your movement, which could be a front squat or a deadlift, as I'm showing you here. But you could do overhead presses, bicep curls. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with this. I'm not really going to go through the whole catalog right now of movements. I didn't film any other movements, because it's like not really. I mean, you could imagine what you can do with this, or you could look it up. I just wanted to give you the basic idea. And yeah, so since I've been using this, I haven't broken anything at all. Everything's working really well, and it's really wonderful. I mean, I can't stress it enough. Honestly, you're gonna save a lot of money, and this works with resistance tubes as well. If you don't have, you don't have to use flat bands. If you don't have flat bands, or you prefer tubes, you know, maybe you've been using tubes and you like them. I've been using, actually, tubes is what I started with. I've gotten more into flat bands recently, but it works with any type of elastic setup you have, like such as body elastics. That's what I have a set of body elastics that I don't use so much anymore, because I prefer the flat bands for doing leg work. I do kind of limited movements when I use them for doing deadlifts mostly, and lower body stuff. That's what I use this primarily for. I don't really do overhead press. You know, I don't really have the overhead space for it, because the house I live in is old. Moving on, these rubber feet, they cost like 10 bucks ish, depending again like when you buy them, and you know, you put it on your Amazon wish list. These things go up, they go down. At the time of the making of this video, the price has gone up a little bit from when I bought it, which was around $11 at that time, and plus tax. Now it's apparently 13. But yeah, I mean, super simple setup. Sometimes simplicity is really all you need. This way, I have not broken any of my bands anymore. I've been using this setup for like 6 months, 7 months. And it's, you know, similar to a cable machine, but except it gets more difficult as you proceed through the movement. And yeah, I mean, it's so worth it. It's so worth it, and it's so cheap to get in shape this way for the price of like maybe 60 bucks, you know? You can throw this thing together and get yourself going with bands.